Hi, in this video we're going to start to create our React app, and we're going to create React app to scaffold all the boilerplate needed to run our application. But before we do anything, I want to show you something. So I didn't emphasize enough the point of why we had to write all the backend in Cloud Functions instead of using the Firebase client library. So this is basically our eventual bundle, our complete project bundle. And this is, by the way, a tool called Source Map Explorer that you can use to see which packages have which size in your bundle. And I'm using it to look at the final bundle of our application, which will be 457 kilobytes in size. And as you see here, Material UI has 171 kilobytes from that. And the rest are all necessary stuff that we need. So this is the bare minimum that we can use to actually have the full functionality of our application work properly. And if we compare this to something like this, which is a project I worked on before that has very minimal functionality actually, but uses the Firebase library Firebase client library to actually access the Firebase database and perform operations on there. If you notice, this package is 907, this bundle is 907 kilobytes, which is double the first one. And Firebase alone is almost 500 kilobytes of that. And stuff like React, Redux Firebase is 60 kilobytes. So you see how using Firebase on the client can inflate the size of the bundle by a lot. And this is important for many reasons, of which you can use services that charge you with by bandwidth, like most notably AWS S3. So you'll get charged more because your users will request bigger chunks of data. Second is, if you're shipping your single page application to slower mobile devices, they will have to unpack this massive JavaScript bundle. And by the way, this project doesn't even have Material UI and the other stuff that we're using in our project. So this will be more than 1 megabyte, which is kind of a lot for a React app that's of this scale. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this quickly. All right, so let's actually start to create our application. In the desktop here, I'm gonna open up git bash. And if you don't have create React app installed, you can just, of course you have npm installed, I'm assuming. You can just run npm install -g create -react app. I already have it, so I can just run create React app, and then the name of the directory will be social ape-client. Now this is gonna take some time, so I'll be back once it's done. Alright, now that it's done installing, we can cd into it. So cd social ape what do we call it? Client, yeah. Okay, let me open it in VS Code by running code dot. Alright, so create React app comes ships a Webpack development server that's already configured for us, so we can just run npm start and it will start our app. Actually, let me open it up here. Alright, so this is our app right now. Nothing fancy. Let's clean up the stuff. We don't need this logo, so we can just delete the logo. So let's delete this. Actually, I need this font family thing from here. I'm just gonna delete this file. Let's go to app CSS. Let's delete everything. But here I wanna keep that font family thing just in case the user doesn't have the Roboto font, which is the main font that Material UI will use. So let's go to index.js and remove index.css from it. Let's go to our app.js, remove that logo because we deleted it. And here I'm just gonna have a header one that says our app. All right, let's save all files. All right, cool, our app. Let's, I wanna change the icon here and change the name of the app. I already have the icon downloaded, but I'll post a link to this in the description. So if you go to our app public, we paste it there and we delete this favorite icon thing. Let's go to public index.html and change fav icon to icon.png or whatever you named it. I named it that. And change the title here to social ape. Let's save. Let's go back and everything's changed. Cool. Alright, so here in the source folder, there are a couple of conventions on how to group your components. I'm gonna have two folders, one that's called pages for the actual pages. We're not gonna have a lot of pages. It's gonna be like 5 of them. And here we're gonna have components. So I'm gonna create 3 pages for now. So home.js, and the pages I'm gonna have with lowercase, with camel case. They're gonna start with a lowercase letter basically. So I'm gonna have home.js, login.js, and signup.js. Alright, so here, because remember guys, I'm using ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native Snippets extension. I'm just gonna, sorry for reading the whole name, I don't know why I did that. Just gonna do RCE. So this is a class-based component and it's already exported for us. And here I'm gonna have a header 1 that says home page. Let's copy the whole thing, go to login and change this to Control D and do login, and then paste here and then do Control D login, or lowercase login. Oops, no, this is sign up. What am I doing? Sign up. Cool, save everything. Let's go to app.js, and here I already want to install React Router DOM so that we can have our different pages in different routes. So I'm gonna open up a new command line, a new terminal, and say, whoa, it's bugged. Okay, let's do npm install --save react-router-dom. Let's hit enter, and while that installs, let me create a component here. The good old navbar. Can't have a website without a navbar, can you? Alright, so let's do RCE here, even though we're not going to use it yet. And here in the home, or in the app rather, let me close the index.html, the app CSS, the index CSS, we don't need these. So here in the app, okay, that's done installing. Let's import a couple of things from React Router DOM. So we have browser router, we have router, we have switch and route. Well, my OCD is telling me to sort them alphabetically. So these are from React Router DOM, if I can spell correctly. All right. So for React Router DOM to work, or for the router to work, we have to wrap everything here in a router, in the router component. Actually, let me name it router because that makes more sense. So as browser router as router, and here I'm gonna put our routes, but we're gonna need to put a switch, not the JavaScript switch, but the component switch. Close this, and then put our routes here. So the first route will be the home route, and this will be path equals slash, and this will have a component which we haven't brought in yet of home. So this is the home page, and let's bring them. Let's say here pages, and let's bring our pages. So import home from /pages/home. Let me copy this 2 more times, and here select this, Control D, and do login and sign up. And actually this will be exact, so it will be exactly this path. So if we add something here, it's not that path. Let me copy this, paste it 2 more times, and this will be to /login. The component will be login, and this will be to /signup, and the component will be sign up. All right, let's save everything and let's see if this is working. So we get a home page here, and if we type slash, we get home page again. Slash login should give us the login page, and it does, and slash sign up gives us the sign up page. Now obviously we want some sort of like navigation bar here with those links. We don't want to type them here each time. So we're gonna install Material UI right now. So let's do npm install --save at material-ui/core. Now you can go to material-ui.com. They have really good documentation, and here you can go to actually getting started, and it will tell you to install it. And if you want to link it with through HTML, no, actually this is the font. And any component you want to use, you go to component API or component demos rather. And in this case, we're going to use the app bar, which is the nav bar technically. And yeah, so you can take any of their examples, you click on show the source, and you actually get the source code on how to use these nav bars. But the way I want to use the nav bar is different to all their implementations, so I'm actually going to do it manually right now. But there are certain things where I'm going to copy some code so that I don't waste time. All right, so Material UI has been installed. Let's go to navbar, and here we need to bring app bar and a couple of other things. So we're gonna have a lot of imports in our file, so I want to put some comments on our imports so that we can navigate them easily. So here I'm gonna do MUI stuff, which is Material UI. So here I'm doing forgot this is ES6. All right, so import app bar from material UI/core/app bar. Now we could actually app bar like this. Now we could actually group all our imports like this. For example, we're gonna need now something called tool bar, and just do this. This would work, but this is not good practice right now, because we're gonna need to do something called tree shaking, where we import each module alone. Plus the problem with doing stuff like this is that each time you run your app, it's importing the whole framework, and it's gonna make your compile time a bit slower. So we're actually gonna do the practice they actually recommend. So just do app bar, and here /core/app bar. And if we were to go back to the documentation page and expand any of them, you notice that every app bar needs a toolbar inside, and then you have your buttons inside of that. So let's go here and let's import the toolbar. Let me just copy this actually, and then select this, Control D, and do toolbar. Where's the bar actually? Is the B capital? No, it's just toolbar like that. Okay. So here for our navbar, we're gonna need to do return like this, app bar. I want to have it fixed at the top, so let's do position fixed. And by the way, if you're wondering how I know that there is this thing called position here, you can just on any element, you could just scroll down and you will see the API reference, or you can go to component API and pick your component. And if we would go to app bar here, it will show us that these are all the properties that this component can take and the values that they take. So I'm using right now position, and these are the values you can have. And actually the default value is fixed, so I shouldn't even type that. All right, I learned something right now, so I should just leave it like this because that's the default value. So let's do toolbar. And here, what do I need to do? Actually, there's nothing right now. I'm just gonna leave it like that. And I want to put some buttons inside. And for this, I'm gonna bring in button from Material UI. And it's not actually 100 kilobytes. This import cost extension sometimes doesn't calculate the size properly. Okay, so here we'll say button, and this has a property color. I'm gonna give it inherit, and and button actually can take some. This is a can be a higher order component, and you can pass it a component, a different component, and then pass it the properties of those components, and then it will have that component as a child. So what I'm talking about, you can right now just say button, and let's say to, what is this? This is login, and then let's paste this 2 more times, and then say home, and then this would be sign up, and let's save. Let's go to our app. Now, what we want in our application is that we want the navbar to be at the top, and then the navbar never changes. It's only the content of the page that changes. So this navbar right here is not going to go inside the switch. It's going to be outside. Of course, it's still going to be in the router, but it's going to be right here. So let's say navbar, and let's actually bring it in. Say components, and let's do import navbar from components / navbar. Let's save. Let's go to our app, and there we go. We have our navbar and we have our buttons, but the text is gone because it's actually behind the navbar. So let's make this section that's got the text a container, like a bootstrap container if you used that before. So let's go in the actually I'm gonna go to the global CSS file, app.css. Let's do .container, this class, and I want to give the container margin top so that the top content doesn't hide behind the navbar. So actually let's do margin, and then here let's say, so the way margin works, you can give 4 numbers. You can give 1, or which applies to all. You can give 2 values which apply to top and bottom and left and right, and then you can give 4. So the first one would be top, and then it goes clockwise, right, bottom, and then left. So here I'm gonna do 80 for top, not 20, 80. And then for right I'm gonna give it auto. For bottom I'm gonna give it 0, and then for left I'm gonna give it auto, so that it actually stays in the middle by giving it auto. I'm gonna give it a max width of 1200 pixels, so that it's actually kind of pushed to the middle. Alright, so let's save that, but we need to give this class to something. I think, what do I surround with? I think I'm gonna surround the whole thing. So let's copy the cut that, and then do .container, and then put our stuff here. Let's look here. Alright, cool. Actually the navbar shouldn't be in the container, so the navbar should be outside like this. Alright, but our buttons right now don't do anything, so let's go to the navbar. Here, like I said earlier, we can pass it a component, and here we need the link component from React Router DOM. We can do import link from React-Router-DOM, and here we're using tree shaken as well, so we're importing only that component. So here, let's take the link. Let's write in all of these fields, and let's do component equals link, and here we can actually pass the properties of the component link, and it will be under the button. So in a way it's like actually putting it here, but it looks cleaner. So here let's do, so the link needs a to property, and for login it's going to be to/login. For home it's going to be to just slash, and for sign up is going to be to /sign up. So we save, and then we go to our app, and there we go. So if we click on our buttons, it actually takes us to those pages. Cool. Let's bring these buttons to the middle. How do we, let's give this toolbar a class name of nav-container, And let's go to our CSS, app CSS, and do nav dash container, and we're just gonna have margin auto. Let's save everything. Let's go, and there we go, our buttons are in the middle. Cool. I'm gonna keep this video short, so I'm gonna finish here, and then in the next video I'm gonna start to set up the actual theme. I don't want to use this basic blue. I want to change the color to something I want, so we're gonna use themes, and we're gonna actually have some markup in our pages. So look forward to that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.